What is up? What is up? What is up, Yankees universe? KOD Nation, stand up, and all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to this Tuesday, December 27th edition of the Yankees Morning Brew. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Hanukkah. Shout out to the chat. I already see I got Anthony Medina in the building. Anthony, what it do? And of course, Mikey Mazza and the 4 Train Express. Mikey Mazza, what it do? But Yankee fans, what is going on with all these rumors? We got rumors about Mike Trout joining the Yankees. Hold on, I gotta wipe the coal out my eyes for this one. Mike Trout joining the Yankees. Now, I don't know where this rumor started. I don't know how this rumor started. At first, I saw it on Twitter. I was just going to let it slide. Wasn't going to even talk about it because I felt like there's no weight to it. There's no weight to the water. So why am I going to talk about it? But then I seen other Yankee content creators talk about it. Some of the guys that, I look up to, some of the guys that I'm friends with. So I was like, you know what? This may be a topic just for conversations, just because, it is the off season and we hardly have anything to talk about. So let's just talk about this possibility of a rumor. But before I do that, I got to shout out my man, Brad Jewis in the building. Mr. Bradley, what it do, sir? And then, of course, my man, Chris the Flash. Chris the Flash is in the building. Chris, what it do? L.I. Yankee King, my man, L.I., what it do, baby? Listen, L.I. doesn't even believe that Trout was coming over here to the Yankees. L.I., my man. That's why I love you, baby. That's why I love you, baby. Anthony Medina said that's a rumor that took a life of its own, like the Tatis rumors. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And we are coming down to the wire when it comes to spring training. Spring training is literally less than 60 days away. If you think about it, pitchers and catchers, they report to spring training February 15th. So we're literally probably 45 to 50 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training. And the Yankees still do not have an option for left field. What are we doing? Brian Cashman, wake up. My brother Jigga Man is in the building. Jigga Man, what it do, baby? My man Bones from the VSN Network. Bones, what it do, bro? Listen, Bones, happy holidays, brother. I hope all is well with the family, my guy. I hope you're doing well as well. The Blue Gold, the Blue God, Mr. Blue is in the building. Blue, oh, you got that Biggie shirt, and I got it too, baby. Ooh, the Blue God. Yeah, but again, these Trout rumors just came out of nowhere. A lot. Esteban Florial is not starting left field. If Esteban, I already told you, if Esteban Florial is the starting left fielder on opening day, we got a game to plan, bro. We got a trip to plan. I got to bring you to New York City. I got to take you to a Yankee game, if that is true, my man. But I don't know. At this moment, I don't know when it comes to the Yankees and when it comes to left field. One thing I can talk about, and shout out to Michael K, the Big Thumb, for bringing this up on his show. Oh, no, it was a Yankees hot stove when Michael K brought this up. When it comes from the front office, right? When it comes from Brian Cashman, and he talks about who could be in this position, who could be in that position, and he talks about, for example, Josh Donaldson, and he says Josh Donaldson is our starting third baseman. Okay, cool. Then he says, we're going to go with Correa and left field. Okay, cool. One thing that Michael K pointed out was that it's the same thing that happened when Johnny Damon was a free agent. And Brian Cashman came out and said that Bubba Crosby is going to be the starting center fielder. So with that being said, we have to understand that when the GM or when anybody from the front office comes out and says, insert whatever player is going to be the starting position player next year, they have to say these kind of things. They just can't say, well, it's the option for right now. If we upgrade, we upgrade. They can't try to downplay any of their players for the simple fact of, if you start downplaying or discrediting any of your players, the trade value goes down in them tremendously. So when it comes to left field, I do not think that what we have right now will be the finished product, right? I do not think when it comes to trades that the Yankees are going to hold back unless the asking price is too much. when it comes to trading for a player. And now all of a sudden, we got this Carlos Correa fiasco going on. He got a physical from the Giants, he failed that. He got a physical from the Mets, he failed that. Yankees, I just let's stay away from Carlos Correa. With that bad back, with those bad legs, I don't know if I'll be willing to sign Carlos Correa to a 10-year deal. And that's exactly what he's looking for. Now, if he's willing to take a 1-year deal with the Yankees for that 1 year, absolutely. Blue gold, I agree with you too. Yeah, but there's no Johnny as a free agent right now. 100% correct. We lost out on that when we didn't re-sign Andrew Benintendi. That's what we should have re-signed, because there's rumors now connecting the Yankees to Tommy Pham, and apparently Tommy Pham wants anywhere from $16 to $17 million a season. I'm not paying Tommy Pham that much money. Tommy Pham, he's in his mid-30s, probably 34 years old. He does have solid speed, does have solid defense, but his bat, I'm not trading for Tommy Pham. I'm sorry. If you're willing to spend 15, if you're willing to spend 16, $17 million on Tommy Pham, there should be no excuse why Andrew Benintendi is not back with the Yankees at 15 million. At 15 million. Let me touch the chat before I go. My man Jay Boogie, Uncle Jay Boogie, I got a question. If the Yankees allowed you to have beers, how much better of an attractive team do you think we would? I think players turn away from us because of the hair features. Let me know. When it comes to that, I think that's something that has to change when it comes to the facial hair. I don't think it'll come anytime soon. But when it comes to the players having their own personality, I agree with you. There's some players that say that they wouldn't come to the Yankees because of the facial rules or whatever. But to me, is it that big of a deal? No, because like Blue just said, money talks. And at the end of the day, money talks, and we know BS walks. So when it comes to players not wanting to play with the Yankees because of the facial feature, I think that's a cop out. I honestly think that's a cop out. Just because players don't want to play in New York, I ain't gonna find any excuse. Oh, I'm not gonna go because of the beard. David Price said that. I'm like, my man, you had a beard that was hardly connecting. What are you talking about? You need to shave your beard. It looks garbage. Uh, let's see. Stanton can't play left field anymore. I would say he can't play left field in Yankee Stadium. You can put him in left field and get away with him in Fenway. You can put him in left field in other ballparks around the league. But in Yankee Stadium, I don't think he should be playing that many games in Yankee Stadium. Mikey Mazza, Carlos Correa, 2 failed physicals are red flags. Absolutely. I'm not sure what front office or what organization is going to take a risk on Carlos Correa when you get red flagged by two different organizations and 2 different doctors. So I'm not sure if he wants to go out and get a second opinion from another doctor or however it is. I'm just not too sure. Uncle Tats is in the building. Uncle Tats, happy holidays, Uncle Tats. I apologize. I meant to text you. I just was super busy, but Tats, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, brother, to you and your families. He said, can't forget traditions for any players. I see you. Let's see. He got red flagged by by both coasts. Yeah, by San Francisco and the New York Mets. And it's weird now when it comes to Carlos Correa, because Carlos Correa is a fantastic Major League Baseball player, right? Fantastic defensive shortstop, Gold Glove shortstop. When it comes to his offensive numbers, I don't think Carlos Correa lived up to what people thought he was going to produce. Everybody was comparing him to Alex Rodriguez. Now, when it comes to defense, Carlos Correa, top notch. Just like A-Rod was at shortstop, Gold Glove. But when it comes to that bat never lived up to the potential of being the next Alex Rodriguez. But it has lived up to being at least 70% of what Alex Rodriguez does. So Carlos Correa's bat is not the best in the league, but at the same time, it's not anything to downgrade, right? He's a phenomenal offensive player and he's a terrific defender. But with the Yankees, I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to fork up $30 million, $35 million for a player that may be injured. He may be damaged goods at this point when it comes to Carlos Correa. If you're getting flagged during your physical for a back injury, and then you're getting flagged on another physical for your lower legs, something's up. Something is definitely up. But with the crazy world that we live in and the crazy business that is Major League Baseball, I would not be surprised and I would not be shocked if a major league team came up and offered Carlos Correa at minimum, a 5-year deal. At minimum, a 5-year deal. I wouldn't be shocked if a major league team came within the next couple of weeks and offered Carlos Correa a 5, maybe 6-year deal. Now, which team would it be? Would it be the New York Mets right now? Would San Francisco give him a phone call after he failed this failed physical? We just don't know. Would it be the Yankees? Yankee fans, would you take Carlos Correa on a 5-year or a 6-year deal at like $30 million a pop? Is that someone that you would take? And then again, if we do get him, where are we putting him to play? Where are we putting him to play? Obviously, shortstop. So what do we do with Peraza? Are we willing to trade Peraza now? When it comes to Bryan Reynolds? Hmm? Blue Go, my man Blue, he said bad backs cause other injuries in the body. Absolutely. Absolutely, Blue. Everybody know that I'm dealing with my back issues that I'm dealing with because I got injured on the job. Back issues, hip issues. Over this past year, my right knee has given out on me 3 different times because of this back injury. Because I'm compensating. Because I have pain in my back, I'm compensating onto my right knee, which has caused me knee issues. So yes, Blue, 100%. Bad back causes other injuries. So we don't know. Just like with me, my bad back caused me my knee issues that I'm having right now. We don't know if his bad back caused him his lower leg issues right now because he's trying to compensate for his injuries. I don't know. Now, when it comes to trades for the Yankees, for left field, I know Arizona was asking way too much when it came to Varsho. Apparently, the rumors is they wanted Gleyber Torres and Peraza. On top of it, they wanted another top 10 prospect. I'm not sure who that top 10 prospect is. That name hasn't been thrown out there. But apparently, according to, I think, Ken Rosenthal was the one who reported it, that the Diamondbacks wanted Gleyber Torres, Oswald Peraza, and another top 10 prospect. And the Yankees hung up the phone and said no. Toronto, they offered up their number 1 prospect in the catcher and Gurriel Jr., if I'm not mistaken. So the Toronto Blue Jays coughed up a hefty price in order to get Varsho over to Toronto. So all that means is now the asking price for Bryan Reynolds has just come up. If you're the Pittsburgh Pirates, you saw that trade, the Toronto Blue Jays, man, and you got super excited because now you know Bryan Reynolds, who is a better player than Varsho, Varsho may have that power, but Bryan Reynolds does have that speed and that defense. Varsho, he's above average major leaguer when it comes to his speed, but Bryan Reynolds is a superior player. So now with Bryan Reynolds, the asking price has gone tremendously through the roofs. So now instead of just 1 top 3 prospect, it may cause you 2 top 3 prospects. Because on top of that, the Pittsburgh Pirates, it has been known, as it came out, Jack Curry reported it on the Yankees Hot Stove Report, that the Pirates, they want starting pitching prospects. And that's one thing the Yankees do not have, is starting pitching, top end starting pitching prospects. We do got Randy Vasquez. We do got Clayton Beeter, but they aren't top end. Clayton Beeter, I think, is 10th in the Yankees organization. Randy Vasquez, I think, is 11, 12, 13, something like that. They aren't top 5 prospects in our organization. So when it comes to our pitching prospects, we don't have enough pitching prospects to try to get Bryan Reynolds. Now, if you're Brian Cashman, this is where you get creative. If you really want to make a Bryan Reynolds deal happen, this is where you get creative. You call up the Detroit Tigers. You call them up. Beep, 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 beep. You call up the Detroit Tigers. Screwball, Derek Screwball. See what you need to give up in order to trade for Screwball. You get Screwball, put him in a package with other prospects to Pittsburgh to get Bryan Reynolds. But now it may cost multiple prospects in order to get Derek Screwball over to the Yankees so we could use him in a trade for a Bryan Reynolds. Or do we call up the Miami Marlins, try to get them involved in a 3-team trade? We call up the Marlins, boop, 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 boop. Hey, Pablo Lopez. Let's try to make this work because we want to send Pablo Lopez to Pittsburgh. Or Yankee fans, I saw this thrown out there also. Let me know what you guys think of this, because personally, me, I'm not too sure if I will make this deal. You call up Pittsburgh. Since we do have Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Luis Severino, and Frankie Montas in that starting rotation, do you dare offer Nestor Cortez to Pittsburgh for Bryan Reynolds? Personally, me, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking away from my starting rotation to put him in a trade. But when you look at Nestor Cortez, the Yankees have control over him for the next 3 to 4 seasons. So if the Pittsburgh Pirates wanted an ace starting pitcher for their rotation, they would have that and Nestor Cortez for the next 3 to 4 seasons. Anthony Medina, I'm with you, baby. I'm with you 100%. I'm definitely not doing this. L.I. Yankee King, you got a little bit too much violence in that first word, but definitely not. I'm not doing that either. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Just like Mazda says, no thanks. Cortez stays with us 100%. I'm not willing to give up Nestor Cortez in a deal for Bryan Reynolds. That's just something that I saw on Twitter and wanted to get your feedback. And apparently the feedback is, oh, hell no. My man Tat says, whoa, not the name I thought I was going to hear you say. Listen, I just saw it on Twitter. Somebody proposed it on Twitter, and it had me thinking for a second, but I only thought for 1.2 seconds, Uncle Tats. Just 1.2 seconds. I wouldn't give up Nestor Cortez in a trade for Bryan Reynolds. Now, when it comes to our other top prospects, Anthony Volpe and Jason Dominguez, hold on. Is that Hector? You should be yanked for suggesting. Brad, listen, give me the get yanked then, Brad. Give me the get yanked. But no, it's just something that I saw on Twitter and I wanted to get you guys' feedback on it. Because like I said, I thought about it for 1.2 seconds and it's not something that I would do. That Nestor Cortez is a free agent after the 2025 season. No, I think it's 2026 or 2027 because arbitration kicks in after, not next year, the year after. So he has like 3 or 4 years of arbitration. If I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. But I think his arbitration years kick in. So yeah, 2025, that is 3 seasons away. So yeah, he may be a free agent then. Hold on. My man Blue said no. Cortez has been our most countable pitcher. Absolutely, Blue. Listen, when it comes to Nestor Cortez, Brad, 1.2 seconds is too long, Hector. I appreciate you, Brad. I appreciate you, my guy. But no, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to Bryan Reynolds, the best that we've seen from Bryan Reynolds is like a 300 batting average. Let me look up the stats right now. But last year, he hit 262. So when it comes to Bryan Reynolds, as good of a player he is, he's not a major superstar. You know, he's not a Mike Trout. He's not a Shohei. He's not a Giancarlo Stanton, right? Like when we traded for Giancarlo Stanton. Over the past 2 seasons, he has a 281 career batting average. Bryan Reynolds does. His rookie year in 2019, he had a 314 batting average. In 2020, obviously, lockout. Hold on. 189 batting average. Then in 2021, he had a 302 batting average. And then last year, he had a 262 batting average. His highs in home runs was last year was 27, and the year before that was 24 home runs. He's never hit over 100 RBIs in a season. He never stolen more than 7 stolen bases in a season. He is a strikeout machine. Last year, he struck out 141 times. The year before that, 119 times. And his rookie year, he struck out 121 times during a season. When it comes to walks, now this is one thing. Last year, he had 56 walks. 56 walks to 141 strikeouts. So me saying that is, I don't. It's not that I don't think Bryan Reynolds is a tremendous player. He absolutely is. But it's Bryan Reynolds worth giving up Jason Dominguez and Anthony Volpe. I know people argue and say that Bryan Reynolds is a finished version of what Jason Dominguez could be, and I think that's setting the bar low for Jason Dominguez. I think at minimum, the floor for Jason Dominguez is Bryan Reynolds. That's the floor. That's if he turns into a bust. I think the floor for Jason Dominguez is Bryan Reynolds. Now, I may be a Yankee homer and maybe a super Yankee fan and love with Jason Dominguez and the potential of Jason, but I honestly think that the ceiling for Jason Dominguez is far past what Bryan Reynolds is right now. He's a solid player. He's a really great player. But is he that superstar that's going to move the needle? On a team that doesn't have what the Yankees have right now, I don't think that's the answer. If you're a team that has to break everything down and you're rebuilding, is Bryan Reynolds going to move the needle that much? I'm not sure. If you're the Oakland A's and you get Bryan Reynolds, are you competing for the playoffs? No. Again, like I said, I'm not taking away from what Bryan Reynolds has done in his major league career. I'm not taking away from that. What I'm saying is that I just do not think that the finished product right now of Bryan Reynolds is what we're going to get from Jason Dominguez. I think Jason Dominguez, his ceiling is far past whatever you get from Bryan Reynolds right now. Now, when it comes to when it comes to other prospects involved, because it's not going to just be Jason Dominguez. No, it's going to be Jason Dominguez and other prospects, right? The Yankees have a strength right now. They have a strength in position players as prospects. I think that they looked at what the Atlanta Braves was doing, and the Atlanta Braves started developing position players. And that's why in this past draft, the Yankees took majority starting pitchers and relievers. So I think the Yankees are pivoting in a certain direction when it comes to their minor league and their philosophy when it comes to their prospects. My man Blue, he said, I agree with you, Hector. I would keep Jason over Bryan Reynolds. I would too. Now, who I would trade for is now he's not a player that is what I just said about Bryan Reynolds. He's not a needle mover, right? He's not a superstar. But what he is a left-handed bat that can play both left, center, and right field, has above average defense and speed, and he has a really cool last name. But I will call up the San Francisco Giants, and I will honestly try to get Mike Yastrzemski from the San Francisco Giants to play left field for the Yankees. You could platoon Yastrzemski and Correa in left field. He's a left-handed bat in Yankee Stadium. When you look at his advanced analytics, he has a lot of balls that are dead on the wall that become outs in San Francisco. Bring him over here to Yankee Stadium, those outs could potentially turn into home runs. When it comes to his barrel on the ball rate, he has a high rate of barreling the ball. So I would definitely take a chance on Mike Yastrzemski, not saying he's going to come over here and become a superstar or an all-star, but he could be a value contributor on this roster. And at the same time, he could take advantage of the dimensions of Yankee Stadium and actually get some numbers. And it will also add to the beautiful rivalry of the Yankees and the Red Sox. Why not? Let's juice up that rivalry while getting Yastrzemski to the Bronx. Mr. Fritz Walters in the building. Fritzy, what it do? Happy holidays, Fritz. Hope all is well. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and happy Kwanzaa, Fritz. Hope all is well. And just to let you guys know, the New Year's is coming up, right? New Year's is right around the corner. So make sure if you guys go on Twitter, tag Yanks Morning Brew, tag KOD Media with the hashtag GetYanked so you can enter our giveaway that we're having this Friday over on the NYY News TV channel. We are giving away a Get Yanked t-shirt. In order to enter that contest, you got to go on Twitter. You got to tag Yanks Brew KOD. You got to tag KOD Media. And you got to tag Jigga Man Portal and say hashtag Get Yanked. You will be entered 4-hour giveaway, and we'll reveal the winner on Friday. But make sure you guys enter that contest. Make sure you get yourself a Get Yanked t-shirt, and let's go back to the convo, because it is the off season. But what I like to tell people, especially content creators, for us content creators, the off season is never the off season. It's the on season, because we got a lot of work to do when it comes to trying to get content out there to cover this team. Also, next week, Thursday, after the New Year's, we're having on a special guest. We're having on my man Joe from The Shift. If you guys are familiar with Yankee content creators, then you guys are familiar with my man Joe from The Shift. He's an awesome content creator, somebody that I looked towards before I started this channel. And like I said, he's a great, great guy that puts out great, great content. So make sure you guys are tuned in next week, Thursday. My man Joe and myself is going to have a great conversation. But let's get back into this. My man Fritz says Reynolds' only way to not lose connection to Astros after all those mediocre bad off seasons. Absolutely. 100%. Now, when it comes to the Astros, I just think their starting pitching may feel it not having Verlander. Not that the rest of their starting pitching isn't talented enough to make up for the absence of Verlander, but what they're missing is that veteran leadership and that starting rotation. And that's what Verlander added. Veteran leadership to a starting rotation. And the Astros may just miss that. But let me shut up, because we still got to deal with them in the postseason if we get to the postseason next year. Eli says we don't have the pitching prospect. I agree. Eli, I agree. That's why I said the Yankees need a pivot. Yastrzemski, I think, would be a good 1-year stopgap or 2-year stopgap until Jason Dominguez is ready, or until Everson Pereira is ready, or until Elijah Dunham is ready. Because the Yankees do have 3 solid outfield prospects on the rise when it comes to Jason Dominguez, when it comes to Everson Pereira, and when it comes to Elijah Dunham. So those are 3 solid prospects on the rise when it comes to outfield prospects. And let me not forget LI Yankee King's favorite prospect of all time, Estevan Florial. Let's see, you do a 3-team deal, Volpe, Peraza, and Dominguez is gone. Exactly. If you get another team involved to get some of their prospect or some of their pieces, you can definitely count the 2 out of those 3 are gone. I don't think it will be Volpe. I think it will be Peraza and Dominguez. But if you get another team involved, you can kiss 2 of those top 3 prospects gone. 2. Brian Cashman dropped the ball with left field. He definitely did. I think he had it in his mind that Bryan Reynolds was going to be his for the taking. And that may be his big head getting in his way. I understand Brian Cashman. He's really close friends, if not best friends, with that GM from Pittsburgh. And I think he let his friendship take a little bit of the control in the conversations. When it comes to Brian Cashman and not upgrading left field, we cannot go into the season with Cabrera and Aaron Hicks being the options in left field. I'm sorry. We just can't. If you could sign Rondon all you want. You could upgrade that bullpen all you want. When it comes to the Yankees and the postseason that just happened, our weakness was our lineup. It wasn't our starting pitching. It wasn't our bullpen. Our issue against the Astros was we didn't hit. We didn't hit. And now the excuses, from Hal and from Brian, people were injured. Benintendi was injured. DJ was injured. Well, one of the guys you just left leave with Andrew Benintendi. You just let him walk over to the south side of Chicago. So we didn't upgrade from that aspect. If you're counting on DJ LeMahieu to be a healthy DJ LeMahieu, don't hold your breath, because I don't think DJ LeMahieu is ever going to return to where he was his first 2 or 3 seasons here with the Yankees. No way, Jose. He may be a 70% version of that next year. If you're lucky, an 80% version of that. Now, we did get some good news when it came to DJ LeMahieu. He's not having that toe surgery, so that's good news. If you guys saw over the Christmas weekend, also, Yankee players were putting out pictures on social media with their significant other to celebrate the holidays. One picture that I was very happy when I saw it was Michael King Go check out Michael King's Instagram so you can check out the picture that he posted on Christmas, because his right arm is not in the cast. His right arm does not look like it's in any type of damage. So when it comes to Michael King next year, we may have Michael King back to what he was last year before he got injured. So that was the one thing out of this weekend that I was super excited for, because the Knicks lost. That sucks, right? The Yankees still don't have an option for left field that I think will be good enough to start the season. So seeing that Michael King picture, seeing that his right arm wasn't in any sling, it wasn't in the cast, it didn't look like he didn't have mobility in his right arm. No, looked like the right arm was fine and dandy. Looked like it was beautiful. So hopefully that's a good sign when it comes to Michael King. He could come back and be the Michael King that he was before he got injured. Because when you look to our bullpen, right? Michael King, like I just mentioned, Jonathan Lasagna coming back, a healthy Clay Holmes, Wandy, the old man Peralta that I swear be playing dominoes on Dykeman Ave. I swear to God. Ron Marinaccio, Lou Trevino, Tommy Kalin, who we bringing back. Yankees are apparently trying to trade Lucas Licky. Go ahead, trade him. Go ahead. I can't stand that Uber driver. But when it comes to the bullpen, our bullpen is going to be a hell of a lot better than what it was last year to end the season. Right? So it is going to be better than what it was last year. We still have Greg Weisert. Not sure what's his role going to be with this bullpen, but we still have him as well. So we literally have a solid 6 to 7 guys that we could be comfortable with in our bullpen. Now, when it comes to this lineup, like I said, the main need for the Yankees is left field. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what we need to do. Eric Wallace, what it do? Good morning. Good morning. LI Yankee King. I want to trade DJ, Stanton, Donaldson, Hicks, Peralta, Hermine, Trevino. That's not the whole team. For they are replaceable. When it comes to Hicks, obviously we want to get rid of Hicks. We want to get rid of Donaldson. Stanton, he has a no trade clause, so I'm not sure if that can happen. DJ, that may be a possibility. When it comes to Wandy Peralta, depending on how this bullpen shapes out by the trade deadline, right? If Wandy Peralta is a piece that we have too much bullpen, because you can never have too much pitching. One thing I want to say before I say this statement, you can never have too much pitching. You can never have too much starting pitching, and you can never have too much relievers, right? But if it comes to it at the trade deadline, if we have a plethora or an overwhelming amount of relievers, if a trade comes up for Wandy Peralta that intrigues me when it comes to prospects, I may entertain that conversation. As of right now, I'm not going out of my way to trade Wandy Peralta. But like I said, at the trade deadline, if every other reliever is kicking it in high gear, if it looks like that we have an overwhelming amount of relievers in our bullpen, or if Wandy Peralta has somewhat of a down year, I would entertain trading Wandy only if we're getting prospects back. That's the only thing I would say. But Anthony Medina is full. He said, tell Li to lay off of MLB The Show. But listen, with the amount of trades that Li be talking about, you're constricted, right? You can only trade 3 players in MLB The Show, and Li be wanting to trade half the roster some of the times. But that's my man, Li. We gotta love Li. Brad Jewett says Li plays too much MLB The Show and thinks that he's the greatest GM in history. Listen, sometimes we all do, right? I got the Pittsburgh Pirates right now in one of my franchises, and they're 127 and 30 something. So I really think I'm a great GM in MLB The Show. But shout out my man Allah. Shout out to the chat as well. Anthony Medina, I see you. Fortran Express, my man. Brad Jewis, my man. My man Blue Gold, my man. But yeah, like I said, left field, Brian Cashman. And that's why I put it in the title of this video. Brian Cashman. You got some explaining to do, Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman, I'm going to need you to pick up the phone. I'm going to need you to stop waiting on Hal Steinbrenner to bail you out, Brian Cashman. This offseason is going to boil down to what do the Yankees do in left field. It was awesome to re-sign Judge. Awesome. Give him that cap. Put that big old C on his chest. Awesome. Phenomenal that we got Carlos Rodon to be paired next to Garrett Cole in that starting rotation. Our starting rotation looks solid. Bullpen looks solid also. But this offseason is going to boil down to who do we get in left field for the Yankees. Because adding or bringing back Aaron Judge didn't improve this lineup. It didn't improve the lineup. We just did it get worse. Adding Carlos Rodon to this team, it improved our starting rotation. We haven't added anything to left field to improve our lineup. Losing Benintendi actually makes it worse. Now, I get it. When we traded for Andrew Benintendi, he had a 320 batting average, 321 to be more specific. He had a 321 batting average. With the Yankees, Andrew Benintendi, he only hit 254. So that may have been the front office looking at it like, listen, maybe he can't play in New York. Maybe he can't hack it in New York. Okay. Copy. If that's the reason you let Andrew Benintendi go, cool. Who are you replacing him with? I love Cabrera. I love what Cabrera can do. I love the fact that he could play almost every position except for the pitcher, the starting pitcher, and catcher. I love that fact. But I don't want to lose the ability that he has by just sticking him in left field. Because if we just stick him in left field, we lose his versatility. We lose the ability to move him around. Because if we start moving him around, who we put in left field? Who we put in left field? Aaron Hicks, the human embodiment of a Ninja Turtle. That's who we put in the left field. Aaron Hicks? No way. I'm sorry. Mikey Mazza said Ian Happ does play left field. Is a lefty and is an upgrade. Is he? I thought he was a switch hitter, but either way, it's still batting from the left side. If we could get Ian Happ, I know the Yankees did try to get him at the trade deadline. If that asking price is a little bit down, has lowered just a little bit, I would try to trade for Ian Happ. But I'm not sure if the Cubs are going to want to do that right now at this moment in this junction, because they added Swanson. They added Bellinger. So they may try to compete for that NL Central, because the NL Central is wide open. If you look at all the divisions around Major League Baseball, that NL Central possibly could be the worst division in all of baseball. That division is wide open, especially when you have the St. Louis Cardinals losing Albert Pujols, losing Yadier Molina. Yeah, they got Contreras, but that's about it. They still have Adam Wainwright. They have Jordan Montgomery, who's a solid number 2 starting pitcher, but that division is wide open. So it may be a situation, Mikey Mazza, that at the trade deadline again, Ian Happ may be available if the Cubs have a down season. But that means that the Yankees would be going into the season with Cabrera and Hicks in left field and trading for Ian Happ at the deadline. I do not want the Yankees to start this season with Aaron Hicks on the roster. I can't stand that man. Like I said a little while ago, he is the human embodiment of a Ninja Turtle. Get Aaron Hicks off of this team. My Uncle Tat said, if we have to put Cabrera in left field to start the season while waiting for the right move to come to light, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it too, Tats, as long as we do not start the season with Aaron Hicks. I'm okay with starting the season with Cabrera in left field and Estevan Florial. You heard me, Ella? Did you hear me, Ella? I said Estevan Florial. With Estevan Florial as that 4th outfielder. I'd rather Estevan Florial as a 4th outfielder over Aaron Hicks any day. But like Tat said, if we have to start the season with Cabrera in left field and something down the line comes to light that we can upgrade with an Ian Happ possibly, I would do that. I would feel comfortable as long as Aaron Hicks is not in this lineup. He said, and okay, let's not go with LI team, but let's go with Cashman team. That was 5 games under 500 for 60% of the season. Ella, I love you, Ella. Mr. Fritz says, issue with the Yankees leadership. You got to get information if Reynolds is possible and realistic, especially after last October. You got to get that information to get a Benintendi or someone else. You got to get Bryan Reynolds. You just have to. You have to get Bryan Reynolds as an upgrade over Andrew Benintendi, because if you don't, then this offseason it's not an upgrade. The lineup is not up. It's not an upgrade. But the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're gonna ask for a king's ransom for Bryan Reynolds, and they have the right to. If I was the Pittsburgh Pirates, I would try to get everything I can for Bryan Reynolds. You have to maximize the return right now. And like Tat says, you can't trade out of desperations. You got to make smart moves 100%. You can't just at the last minute panic, hit that panic button, trade Peraza and Dominguez just because you want Bryan Reynolds. Now, hear me out now. If the possibility of getting Bryan Reynolds and David Bednar pops up, if we could get both of those in one trade, then I'm more willing to trade Dominguez and Peraza. Only if we get Bednar and Reynolds back. If it's only for Bryan Reynolds, I'm not trading either of them. But if we could get back David Bednar from the Pirates for Bryan with Bryan Reynolds, then I'll be more inclined to trade Dominguez and Peraza. But only if we could get Bednar and Bryan Reynolds back. You add Bednar to this bullpen, you make the bullpen even more powerful. My man Blue says a combo of Correa and Chad Pinder at left. Pinder is like Mark Cannon. Yeah, I like Pinder. I always like Chad Pinder. Brad said I'd rather go with Cashman team on any day, any year. LIS. Listen, it's all love, right? That's why we're all friends in this chat. It's all love at the end of the day. We just want to see this team be better. Mikey Mazza said Bednar will be an awesome bullpen and he could be our closer. Listen, we have to go down to who you want to be the closer. Yeah, all right, Eric. That's real funny. That's real funny. Shout out to my man Jake from the Bronx Zoo. But last week, my man Jake said Donaldson and Hicks for Bryan Reynolds, and I had to take a pause. Like, all right, my man, I don't think Pittsburgh is that crazy to make that move. But if we could get Donaldson out of here, or if we could get Aaron Hicks out of here before the season, I'll take it any which way I can. I just really don't want Hicks on this team going forward. I really don't. I was so frustrated 2 seasons ago when they was batting Aaron Hicks in the 3-hole. Jesus. You guys remember that when they batted Aaron Hicks in the 3-hole for about a good month and a half of the season also. It wasn't like it was just one day here, one day there. No, it was literally for like a month and a half of the season. Mr. Fritz says every offseason, Yankees leadership is loudmouth. If it's about to make big moves and get big difference makers, they fail. And no, Judge is nice, but still, this team is worse, pure pathetic. Yeah, I gotta agree with you, Fritz. If we do not upgrade left field, if we do not get someone to play left field, that's a better option than Andrew Benintendi. I understand Andrew Benintendi was hurt in the postseason. We didn't have him, but we still lost him. We still lost Benintendi. So we didn't upgrade this team when it comes to left field. My man Chris says, I agree, Hector. We have to get a bat because if not, it will be the same team we had at the end of last season. Yeah. And that's not upgrading anything. That's not putting you above the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros, they made their lineup better. They added Jose Abreu to first base. Jose Abreu is a way better first base option than Trey Mancini. It's a way better option than who they had before, whatever Gurriel brother they had before. So when it comes to our lineup has significantly fallen behind the Houston Astros from them just adding Jose Abreu. We lost Andrew Benintendi. We were not upgrading. We didn't upgrade. We got Carlos Rodon. Like I said, that's a phenomenal. Our starting rotation may be better than the Houston Astros. Cool, copy. But it still didn't upgrade. We still didn't upgrade the glaring issue with our team in the postseason. And the glaring issue and the number one issue with our team, it wasn't starting pitching. It wasn't our bullpen. It was our lineup. It was Aaron Judge hitting below 150 in the postseason. It was the fact that Anthony Rizzo was the only hitter in our lineup to have over a 250 batting average. The issue with our team was the fact that Giancarlo Stanton and Anthony Rizzo was the only two hitters you could rely on in that lineup. Scratch that. The fact that Harrison Bader turned into Superman in the postseason and was our best postseason hitter. If Harrison Bader is your best postseason hitter in a series against the Houston Astros in the ALCS, you got some news to learn. You're not going to win that series. No matter how good Harrison Bader was. If Harrison Bader is the only hitter in your lineup that is literally turned into Superman and is killing it 9 times out of 10 in the 7-game series, you're not going to win that series. My man Blue says left field, third base, and catcher is week 2. Listen, yeah. Jose Trevino, I think he got tired coming down the stretch. His bat was nothing in the postseason. Phenomenal defender, phenomenal framer. He was an all-star last year. He was a Gold Glove also. On top of it, not taking anything away from him. But he got tired. Hopefully Ben Royback, he adds something, being a left-handed hitter with some pop, but I'm not too sure about it. When it comes to Ben Royback, one thing about Ben Royback is he's a phenomenal defender. He's a phenomenal framer. Coming out of high school, he was a top catching prospect for one reason and one reason only: his defense. He wasn't a top catching prospect because of his hitting. He was the top catching prospect because his defense was the best in the nation. Coming out of college, when he was drafted, he was one of the best defensive catchers in all of college baseball. So I'm happy that the Yankees got him, but he's a backup, right? The 3 positions that my man Blue just mentioned: left field, third base, and catcher. Catcher, I take away because as long as our catcher is a defensive Gold Glove catcher who's a nice pitch framer, I'll take that. But left field and third base, those are our 2 weaknesses. Especially because we traded for Josh Donaldson, not for his defense, because the Yankees love to put out there how great of a defender Josh Donaldson is. We didn't trade for Josh Donaldson for his defense because we already had Gio at third base, who was a phenomenal defender, if not borderline Gold Glover. So we didn't trade for Josh Donaldson for his defense. We traded for Josh Donaldson so he could be an impact bat in that lineup, and he has failed tremendously. When it comes to left field, like I said a little while ago, and I'm going to keep on saying it, we lost Andrew Benintendi. So we need to upgrade in left field. Having Cabrera be your everyday left fielder is not upgrading left field. It's actually hurting our team because Cabrera's best ability is the fact that he could play all over the diamond. He could play left. He could play right. He could play third. He could play short. He could play second. He was even playing first base when Anthony Rizzo was hurt. My man Cabrera on his best days is probably 6'1", and he's playing first base, if not 6 feet tall, playing first base. Great kid, great energy. We need more Waldos up here on the major league roster. I don't want to trade Cabrera. I know there was rumors about the Yankees possibly including him in the trade. No. I'm not trading Cabrera. Not whatsoever. That energy, that passion that he brings, that's what the Yankees need. It's not about the facial hair. It's the passion and the energy that the player has. No. I wouldn't say weak. Like I said, as long as our catcher, I don't care if our catcher doesn't hit. That's the one thing. I don't care if our catcher doesn't hit. Our catcher can literally hit 200 for the entire season. I'll be fine with it as long as he's a Gold Glove defender and he's a top of the notch pitch framer. Anything else we get from the catching position, I'll take it. But I understand what you're saying, Anthony, 100%. My man Jacob is in the building. Jacob, what it do? Jacob, listen, Jacob. I've been trying to like practice how to pronounce your last name, and I don't want to butcher it. As somebody that has a very weird last name himself, I do not want to butcher your last name. So I'm gonna just say Jacob P. My man Jacob P. The Trout rumors are somebody on Twitter decided to just put up some random Trout nonsense, Jacob, and Yankee fans started running with it. So this is the Trout rumors, Jacob. Hear this out. This is the Trout rumors. The Trout rumors are that Giancarlo Stanton, it's Mike Trout went to the Angels, requested to be traded. He has a no trade clause, and he requested to be traded to the New York Yankees. And the Yankees are going to work out a deal to send Giancarlo Stanton over to the Angels, even though Stanton has a no trade clause. I'm not sure if he's going to give that up, but trade Stanton to the Angels with some prospects in order to bring back Mike Trout. I don't see it happen, Jacob. I just wanted to have the conversation because it's a rumor that at first it had no legs to it, right? It had no legs to it. But over the weekend, the no legs having rumor literally turned into like the human centipede, and it was all over Yankees universe when it comes to content creators, when it comes to Yankees Twitter. It just took a mind of its own, and it went crazy. Like I said, it turned into the human centipede, and it was rotting the mind of Yankee fans. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's ever happening. If it does happen, okay, I'll be happy, but I don't think it's happening whatsoever. And like Blue said, Gio even played shortstop too. Exactly. And he was a better shortstop than Gleyber Torres. That's not saying much. That's really not saying much. I always joke with Pete Simonetti from NYY News TV that Gleyber Torres playing shortstop looks like me in a pair of Timbs trying to play shortstop on Orchard Beach. That's what Gleyber Torres looked like at shortstop last year. My man Albert Willis in the building. The wheels has checked in. He said Don and other players coming to NYY stop playing when in New York. He said even a Gallo will work in Houston. Why? Because they are able to hit for average and power 24/7. Listen, I don't think Joey Gallo works anywhere. I don't think Joey Gallo would be a good worker at Radio Shack, but but no, Joey Gallo, listen, I wish him the best. It didn't work out here with the Yankees whatsoever, not at all. Whatever. You went to LA, it didn't work out in LA either. You had a couple moments where you hit home runs. That's about it. But Joey Gallo, I wish you the best. I lose no sleep I don't lose any sleep not having Joey Gallo on this team. So I really don't. I have no worries about Joey Gallo. He said, Hector, you doing an open panel today? Not today. I'm going to do an open panel on Thursdays. Just so everybody knows, this Thursday, right, we're going to have an open panel. What that is start the show just like normal. But at 11:30, I put the invite out in the chat. So if you're somebody that's watching along, like my man Blue Gold, Blue, if you want to come on the panel on Thursday, you're more than welcome to. The only thing I ask from people is when you come on the panel, one, let's be respectful. Let's be respectful to everybody. Let's not, and no ad hominems, no calling people out of their character, whatever. And as well, let's follow the terms of service of YouTube. So like no cursing, no explicit language, anything like that. If everybody can follow those rules, I love having an open panel. Right? One thing about the open panel is that when it comes to this show, the Yankees Morning Brew, when it comes to the concept of the open panel, I want people to understand this. I put this out there. When it comes to the open panel, I love having an open panel because I want people to understand that this show is a show by a fan for the fans, right? I want people to know that this show is powered by the fans. So the reason why I'm able to keep doing this show twice a week, 3 times a week on a weekly basis is because I have you guys in the chat to help me out as well, right? You guys are just as important to this show as me talking on this show. That's one thing I want to let everybody know. Over these past few months, I've created amazing relationships with everybody that's in the chat. My man, Uncle Tats, that's my guy. Uncle Tats called me, say we got to get rid of a body. We'll get rid of a body in 2.3 seconds. My man Blue, over these past couple of weeks, my man Blue has been hitting it right on the head with every take. That's why I said, Blue, if you ever want to come on a panel for an open panel, you're more than welcome to any type of day. My man Mikey Maz in a 4 Train Express going back to 16 River Ave, the Mafia. I love my bro Mikey Mazza. Eric Wallace, even though Eric Wallace is a fan of the Seattle Mariners, Eric Wallace is here every day showing love and giving great insight. Shout out my man Eric Wallace. Albert Wheeler as well. My man, the Wheels has checked in. Jacob also another dope contributor. Anthony Medina from La Isla. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anthony, Jacob, if any of you guys want to join the open panel, you're more than joining the open panel this Thursday coming up. Like my man Fritz Walter. Also, I love my guy Fritz. Fritz, you got one of the best icons on YouTube. Also, if you want to join the open panel on Thursday, Fritz, you're more than welcome to join in the open panel. I like to put the open panel out there just so everyone can get involved. I understand there's people that may be watching, right? That they may want to dip their toe in being a content creator. Just know my open panels that I host, come here and try that. If you have the itch of wanting to get in the realm of being a content creator and you don't have the avenue, or if you don't have the space to do it, you're more than welcome to come onto the open panel and try it out on our open panel. Why not? Just like LI Yankee King. I love my guy, LI Yankee King. The open panels, LI's amazing on the open panels. Tats, I want to be like you when I grow up, Hector. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because I'm a bad smoker. I got a smoker's cough. I got smoker's lungs. I got bad knees. I got bad back. I want to be like you, Uncle Tats, when I grow up. But no, like I said, it's been awesome being able to do this show. It's been awesome linking up with content creators that I used to watch, right? The Pinstripe Chronicles, that was a channel that I used to watch. 161 River Ave with Jason, that's a channel that I used to watch. NYY News with Pete Simonetti, back when Pete Simonetti was doing his car rants in 2019, that's what I used to watch. Derek from NYY Recap, that's who I used to watch. My man Joe from The Shift, that's who I used to watch. Anzo as well, Anzo Media, that's who I used to watch. So it's been an awesome journey so far, being able to link up with all you content creators, being able to create relationships with everyone in the community, and it's just all in fun. It's all because we love this one miserable team that we watch, and that's the New York Yankees. But 2023 is around the corner. New Year's is literally this weekend coming up. There's going to be a lot of news coming out from the Knights of Degen. This Friday, we'll be announcing a big announcement this Friday on the Knicks Morning Brew. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Like I said, this Thursday coming up will be the open panel. I wanted to save the open panel for the last Thursday of the year to go out with a bang for 2022. Right? I think the best way to end the Yankees Morning Brew for 2022 is to have an open panel. So I look forward to having that open panel. And again, if you're someone that you want to be a content creator, right? Or you want to be talking about the Yankees, but you just don't have a place to do it, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to do it on our open panels, right? If you want to start yourself something and you want a place to promote it, you're more than welcome to come and promote it over here on the Yankees Morning Brew. I don't stop anybody from promoting anything that they're doing in the chat. If you have your own YouTube channel, put it in the chat so everybody can follow you, right? If you have your own Instagram thing, if you have your own Twitch thing, whatever you do out there, if you're on the Twitter Spaces, whatever you do, you can always come here, promote it in the chat, and I'll make sure that as many people I can to go follow you, I definitely would. But just know, Yankee fans, this is not the end. We'll be back on Thursday, but just know I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys mean the world to me. And most importantly, peace, love, respect. Shout out to your families. Make sure you kiss your neighbor and tell everybody to have a good night. I am Hector, host of the Yankees Morning Brew, and I'm out. And like always, a peace out. I see